Good morning, good evening. We have people dialing in from all over the world. It's very late for some people. On my side, I'm based here in Austin, Texas, where we've just opened a new office here. So, really pleased to be scheduling this monthly demo with y'all today. This is kind of a webinar format. The point of this today is we just spend 30 minutes, give you a quick update on all the work we've been doing here at Trusted Family and give you an update of the demo. Also present the platform. We've been doing a lot of developments over the past few months. I'll make sure to share all those with you today. If you have any questions and you want to continue the conversations, it will be much easier to have them one-on-one with myself or with other colleagues from around the world. So do reach out if you want a more personalized demonstration after this. So with no further ado, let me go ahead and share my screen. And let me try to make it a bit bigger. Here we go. So, I just want to share this because when I look at everybody joining us today, there are very different types of people joining and tuning in. There are some what I call families on the rise, which are families that are getting set up with their governance journeys. They're starting to transition from the second to the third generation. I recognize two names there on the list, really focused on this transitioning. We like to call them families on the rise because there's a lot of it's a learning path, it's a learning journey. There's a lot of questions that families may have around this. And then we have also others on the line that, have professionally run family offices already today that have a family office, a family council, and already all sorts of governance in place, right? And I think what's nice is it's a good representation of the types of audiences that we work here at Trusted Family. So today we work with about 220 plus family offices, family businesses from 34 different countries, so quite international. And we have two main different types of segments. We have, as I said, the families on the rise type of structures who are, families transitioning second, third generation between 10, 15 family members, really looking to start to setting up their governance structures. And then we have the more structured family offices. And that's why we also have three services that we offer today at Trusted Family. There's the platform, which again, depending on where you are in your journey, will have to cater to your needs. But then there's also the family success and the family community piece. This is all on our public website. I invite you to come have a look at it afterwards. You've already connected to the platform. But I really invite you to go guide you through the process there, especially if you're the ones on the families on the rise, because, we have a family success team that is there that works with all of our clients that will help you get acquainted with the feature, with the platform, and will help set it up the right way for you to make it as easy as possible for you to adapt the new software and the new platform, right? It's very important. Like when you speak to one family office, you've just spoken to one family or to one family office. It's a common saying. And so it's really important for our family success team to be close to our customers, to listen to them, to understand and to document how is it that you're organized today? What are the challenges that you are facing? Is it linked to next generation engagement or, education? Is it linked to, you're starting to have all these trusts and you want to have a secure way to get those trust information to the beneficiaries? Is it around shareholder management or shareholder registries? So there's different clients that come to us with different use cases, and family success team are there to really build the right templates, build the right platform for you and customize it appropriately. And then, of course, one of the biggest powers is because we only work with family offices, family businesses. We also have been putting together this community where we organize two major client conferences every year. The next one we just had one in Europe. The next one is going to be in March in New Orleans, where we get all of our customers together, present how is it that they're using the platform. Best practices are being shared there on all sorts of topics: how to run a family council, how to organize a family retreat, how to prepare next generation programs, how to find purpose in the family, which is something that I hold very close to my heart. And so there's a lot of themes that are being shared there. And I think that's the point of the community, is to share, to learn, to learn from all sorts of families. Some have doing things for many, many years. Others are getting started. Some have been doing for many years, needing to have new ideas from other families from around the world. So those are two really pillars that we have to our service offering, which I really think stands us out from any other service providers that you may find out there, right? So the family success and the family community. But today, let's talk about the platform. Let's talk about what we call the family operating system. And let me, for that purpose, connect to what I call the Wayne Family Office platform, which is the one you will see here. Just opening up well. So again, the key here, depending on who you are, either you are a family on the rise, getting started, a family office like the one that I'm showing here, which already has some structures, right? But long story short, the first thing we do when we start working with a family is we need to understand how is the family organized, right? Do you have a board? Do you have a family council? You probably maybe have shareholders. You will have a family. You will have an exchange. You might have a foundation. Again, you might just being starting with your foundation. So nothing is very structured. And we are there with the family success team again and our other customers to help you set up these spaces, customize them to make sure that they fit your specific use case, and then share all sorts of templates, best practices, examples of how all of this can come into play. The spaces, I'll come back to those spaces. I'll go through some of the most used spaces to show them how they're used by our customers. Of course, every space, permissions are key, right? In a family business, what sets us apart from any traditional business is the many hats that every family members have in the family, right? You might be you might be working for the business, you might be an ex-gen, you might be a shareholder, you might be on the board, and all these people will need to have different permissions, different access rights, and not see every information. So depending on the role that you play in the family, you will or not be able to see some of the spaces, right? These are specific permission based. And so voilà, they're all secret. If you're not having access to it, you won't even see it part of the platform. So with no further ado, let me show you first your personal settings, right? Because we have personal settings because again, depending on who you are, you will or not have access to certain of the information. And so your news feed and the announcement stream here in the flow will be very different per user, right? So here I can see there's information that was shared with the next generation space. There was an event that's been organized with the shareholder space, and so on and so forth. We have notifications because we have a native iOS and a native Android applications that are available to download in the respective stores. And so how the app works is basically like this. The platform is also 100% responsive. So if you're connecting and you don't have the app installed and you're connecting with an iPad or with an iPhone, the platform will adapt to the best screen possible for your phone, right? Again, usability is extremely important for us. So this is basically how the app would work. The homepage would be like this. If you click on this one, you'll be able to go to like the circles to the different spaces. So here I can go, for example, to the family council space, and I would be able to see if I have access to it, to all the information in the family council space. Just for the purpose of this Zoom meeting today happening on my computer, let me just connect it and bring it back up as if I was on the web browser. So you have your homepage, you have your notifications, of course, push or email notifications, really important. A lot of our customers ask a lot of questions around notifications because they want to make sure they can reach a lot of the questions. And I spent an hour yesterday with a family on this topic, which was, how can I reach to my children that are in university and that are not too sure, then had never opened their emails, or it's difficult to get them to read emails that are being sent to them, right? And the key for that is to be able to speak and to reach them where they actually are all the time. And I see that with my 3 sons, it's on their phones. So, making sure that with the push notification, they get a pop-up, just like any other apps, Instagram, WhatsApp, whatever, you get a push notification, it pings you, you connect on it, and it will bring you automatically to the right places on the platform. And this is not just true for the next generation, but it's also very true for, every generation, making it it easy for people to just be directed to the information that is relevant on their platform, right? So we have notifications, really important. We have a chat feature. Well, you can have a chat with all the members of the space. You can have a chat with the members who are attending a meeting, or just can have one-on-one conversations with the family members. This way, it's instant. Again, you just send a message, they automatically get pinged. One of the most used features of the platform, and one of the most most active features is meetings, right? A lot of our clients create on a daily basis a lot of meetings. And you have here the meetings that are for all the spaces that you belong to, right? So if I'm a shareholder, you can see here there's a shareholder meeting. I can see there's a board meeting getting scheduled here. There's a family meeting that's getting scheduled here. So again, depending on my permissions, I will or not see and be invited to these meetings here that are appearing. What's really worth mentioning is, calendars is our nightmares. We all have too many calendars, and really important, and this is a metric that we look to the success of a lot of our platforms, is to make sure that every user do synchronize their calendars with their own personal calendars that they use, right? So you don't want to have to create yet another calendaring system. If you use iCal, if you use Google Calendar, if you use Outlook Calendar, synchronize them there. Whenever you get invited to a meeting or something pops up here on the platform, they will automatically, if you have it sync, be visible in your private calendars. Now, let me show you here first on the general, and you have different views for calendars if you prefer this view or other types of views. You can even see the anniversaries that are coming in the family if that's something that's important for you. Also, we can set it up there. So let me just show you some of these events. Of course, calendars, and I'll show them, are also visible on a per space basis, but because I'm here, let me show you already an example. So this is a shareholder meeting, for instance. I can see the agenda of the meeting here. I can add, and we've got an integration with Zoom, but you can add your conference link here. You can also add the location of where the event is actually happening. And then you have all sorts of event packs, right? And in here, you can upload surveys, you can create folders, you can create documents, you can create folders for pre-reading materials. You can have like a shareholder registry where people need to sign off for their presence. A lot of clients use it for shareholder meetings where they need to make sure that there's the quorum that is represented. So they will sign off on the documents. They would have to RSVP to all sorts of questions through the form that can be uploaded in the system. You can also prompt the form to be when people register to the event. So let me show you here. If I basically change my setting or confirm my presence to an event, an automatic RSVP form can be applied at this point already, where you can decide, different, like, do you have any questions for the shareholder meeting? Or do you have any food allergies if you're planning something or a dinner? Or do you need any hotel reservations? Or here are the 3 votes. Which one do you vote for the next president of the family for the shareholder meeting? Whatever the topic, you can customize all these forms very easily and create all sorts of forms very easily this way here. And then, of course, you can see the invited and the guest list for the meeting, the people who are attending, the people who are not attending, the people who are pending RSVP. And what's quite smart is you want to send a reminders maybe. So in this case, just to show you, I can send a reminder to everybody who has not responded, send them a message, send them a notification, and they'll be prompted to confirm their presence to the event. So you can send all sorts of reminders there. What's also really handy is you can invite guests. And this is, paramount for a lot of our family office clients, because let's say you have a next gen that's on the rise. He's not, or she is not yet a shareholder, but you do want them to have access to this one specific meeting, or you're organizing a certain committee meeting and you have an external trustee and external advisors. You don't necessarily want to give them access to the entire shareholder space because there's a lot of information in that space that is confidential, but you want them to have access to this meeting because they'll be part of it. So you can very easily invite people as guests. Just add their email address here. And if they're not part of the platform, they'll be marked as a guest here, and they would only be able to see the content that's visible on this event. So collaborating with external people is central to the good governance of a family office and a family business. So that was what we felt was really paramount to set up well. So because I'm on this event topic, so it's like organized meeting, running meetings, and then following up of meetings are really important, right? So when I talk about following up of meetings, what I like showing is like it's very difficult to hold people accountable in a family business context, right? Because very often in a family, in a committee, in a council, people are doing it out of their free time for the family. You know, they maybe have a family life with many kids and very busy lives. They maybe have another business on the side, which takes up a lot of their time. And so making sure that all the decisions that you take during a meeting that are tracked, that are centralized, and that people know what decisions were taken and can find them easily is paramount. And holding family members accountable when they said that they've been assigned a task and to make sure that they're taken accountable and that we can track it is really paramount for good governance and and good management of the family, right? So here you can easily create a task. You can add a task, Arno to run the next tech showcase for Trusted Family. Why not? And that will happen next month in October. We're already in October. It's frightening in November. And then I can assign it to myself. I can assign it to multiple people, right? So I can assign the action items to multiple people if I want to. Click save, and then will be 3 people who will be running the next tech showcase, right? So all of this is really quite nice. And what's great about it, like let's say you close this meeting, and we also under the calendars have a centralized to-do where you'll be able to see all the action items that have been created and have been assigned to you, the ones that are overdue, et cetera, right? So you can have a look at these, the ones that are, I should probably work on some of these, way too many are overdue, but you can see the one that I just created live now is here, it's due on November 19th, and we're the 3 of us that needs to complete this task, right? And so you can always go back to the meeting notes this way by clicking there, you'll be back here, you'll be able to see the other meeting notes assigned to other people. So it's really well, you can also manage this here, but it's really a great tool to help the family office, the shareholder teams, and the people running a committee just be more efficient in their way of working. So with that being said, let me show you before I jump onto the vaults. There are really 2 ways of communicating information. There's via the space and via the vaults. Let me first start with the space, right? So with the space, let's say you want to go to the shareholder space and you need to share all sorts of, shareholder agreements, dividend notices, financial reports. This will be only visible for the members of the space, right? And we have different access roles and permissions. This is something like this platform is really self-serve. So we'll help you, we'll guide you, we'll create the templates, we'll customize it at best for your family. But the vision behind it is for you to be able to control everything, because from a security perspective, it's really important for us to feel that you can, or to have you guys really own the platform, right? So you can decide who you invite to which space, you can delete people, you can delete content. You really have the full control over the platform, right? So access and roles are really important. Only an administrator of the platform can actually create new spaces, because you do want to control, believe me, what are the amounts of spaces that get created. So if you want to create a new space and not necessarily run it, you would have to have the administrator create a next gen space, for instance, assign what we call a space owner. Like I'm showing here, the Allegro is an owner of the shareholder space, and he or she will have the possibility to manage the space, and you can remove yourself. You always need to have one owner of a space before you can remove someone from the space, if you're an owner. So it's quite straightforward. We can, and basically every space is really modular, customizable. You can see how interactive the space you can have. Like if you want the shareholder space to really be much more controlled, you can see that only the owners of the space can push announcements, can create events, can upload files, etc. If you want it to be more interactive, let's just say the owners and all the members, or you can even select the people who can kind of push information within this space, right? So voila, maybe for certain entities, a board or trust, you want to have a bit more control there. This is for, every family is kind of different. And that's why we offer that customization level for every space, because that is very important. We also have the login activity, and I'll come back to that. So again, here I'm in the shareholder space. Only information are available here for the shareholders. I can see all the events and the meetings that are happening now only for the shareholder space, everything that's happening over the quarters. Again, here I always have the possibility to synchronize. You have all the files from that space that can be viewed, right? So you can see all sorts of here, financial statements, security documents, etc. And so all of that is it's very easy. Create documents, create forms, create bridges, which is an integration to OneDrive, Google Drive. You can upload your links here and start collaborating on documents, just like I did here at Pitch Deck, where it will open up a link to our presentation, and you can start collaborating and using all the features of Microsoft or Google here in onto the platform, right? Because if I close this page, I'll be back on the Trusted Family platform. So you can have a bridge there, which is an integration to third parties. You can upload files, upload folders, create forms and surveys. All of that is all possible here. And you can see that every space kind of more or less has the same feature sets. You can here, if I'm on the family council files, I'll only be able to see the information for the family council, family vision projects, and so on and so forth. Same thing for the family. If I go to the family files, I'll be able to see only the information that's linked to the families, right? If you have family properties that you need to share, a lot of our clients also use the platform for that. For the families on the rise, but also the larger families, depending on these are modules that you can add or remove, but we also have a family tree that you can see where you can see how you're related to one another. A lot of our clients really enjoy that, even if they're just 10 or 15. I was speaking to a family there. They have just a new third generation member. They're just 15, and it's the second G3, whatever. And it was just nice for them to be able to announce it, to add it to the family tree, and to just build on the legacy and make sure that all the histories, the stories, the activities of the families are preserved for not just your generation, but for the future generations too, right? So that is really important. And again, here in the family space, you'll see the information just for the family, shareholders, etc. Let me just show you one aspect before I talk about vaults, because I think this is really important. So whenever you click or if you open a document, whatever the content, right? If it's a photo, a video, a file, a document, whatever the format, it doesn't really matter. There's a lot that we can actually do on one specific document that's being shared with you, right? If it's in a meeting, you might be able to take private notes for that meeting that you can hide and take here. You also have, if you go to your access settings, you'll be able to see the rules. So, if you want to prevent the download, you can do so. If you want to add a watermark on a document, it's very simple. Just in the settings, you just add this. On every document, it will work. You'll have visibility on the audit log. So here you see I've been playing around by adding and removing watermarks, and all of that is logged, right? So, and I think this is really, really important, especially for trusts or for shareholder reports, just to make sure that you have visibility on everything that is happening on a document. You also have visibility on statistics. And this, if you want to be more effective in the way you run your office, understanding how people are engaging with your content, understanding what information is being seen, how many times and by whom is paramount to run an office well, or for good family governance in general. And so for instance, here I can see that I viewed this document 36 times, which is a bit frightening, but whatever. That the last time was right now at 9:22, and so everything here is really logged, and you can really see kind of all these activities. And why this is important is because if you have an important report that you need to distribute, and you need to make sure that every shareholder has had the time to read it, you can see if the person has or has not read it. And if the person, didn't have time for it or was on commute, you could just send reminders. So let me just go ahead and say, what, Thomas, sorry, but, here is the latest fund investment report. Can you please let me know if you have any questions, for instance. Whatever, you can customize your message, click send, you can add other people, and this will automatically send a notification to the user And wow, this is really, really important. And this is something that you cannot do. Like too often before working with us, families use emails, distribute information via emails or via WhatsApp or via like just put stuff on a drive, and you don't have that neat granularity information really on how people are interacting. You can also apply different rules extremely easily, have those statistics, and of course, have people sign on the documents. Like here, I see that Hermine and myself signed this document. We have an electronic signature system in the application. And once the document has been signed, you can see the IP address of when the information was created, the IP address of when the information was signed. Here it's for Hermine, here it's myself. And this is an annex of the audit trail that gets added at the bottom once the document gets signed by everyone and is completed. So yeah, a lot that we can do on specific content. Again, it depends if you're looking at it more as a business governance use case or if you're looking at it more as a family governance use case. That's why I say at the start of the conversation that we have different types of personas. Some that are families on the rise, really focusing more on getting their governance up and ready. And then we have other legacy families or family office structures that have been working and running together for many, many years that are more focused on next generation education, next generation trainings. We have clients that do amazing things. If I see that there may be a few people joining today that are interested in next gen education, let me quickly show you how some of our clients do this. So if you go to the next gen space, here's one example, right? We have a shortcut to next gen education. Here you can see all sorts of modules that people could follow, right? Learn about the legacy and the values, learn about financial literacy, about the decision-making process around personal development, etc. And all of these, we have clients that are pushing this really far. You could have pre-reading materials, you could have courses that people need to follow. And then what's quite nice is at the end, you can even create a survey where people would be able to respond their names, and this is basically a test just to make sure that they understand this workshop well or this training well. And what was really neat that they said, so you have the results of this, and if you go to the member directory, you can really personalize these member directory very different from one space to another. And in the next gen space, you can kind of categorize if people successfully passed, which modules they're actually passed, what education score they potentially have, et cetera, et cetera. So there's a lot of really cool initiatives that are created by our customers. And that's why we have, again, this family success team that is there, because their role is really central to helping each of our customers identify what is it they're trying to achieve and guide them in sharing best practices, sharing ideas as to how they can run all sorts of programs, how they can better organize a family retreat is another one that we had recently that we've built all sorts of templates and guidance on to help families really manage their retreats appropriately, right? So I think this is a great example. So what I wanted to show, so either you share information in the space, just conscious of time, or we also have vaults, right? Because there's a lot of cases where you don't want just to share information with everybody, that be all the family members, all the family council members, but you need to have your trustee, your tax advisor, your lawyer to also be able to distribute private information to each beneficiary, right? So here, if I go to my private vault, I'll be able to see my tax files, my reports, and this is just visible for myself, right? And we really have pushed this feature really far in the settings here where you can have automated vault distributions through the system where you can just go ahead and start pushing files automatically. They'll recognize your name. So if you have a family with about 50 names, let me just quickly show you how this works, where you have about 50 family members. It can be quite smart because you can just say, tax files 2025, let's say, and you can just go ahead and upload all your files within the system. Let me just drag and drop them all here. They'll automatically get published, right? And what's really sweet is you can, start, because they each have a name or a shareholder ID that works also, you can automatically apply and auto assign, and you'll see that they'll automatically recognize, right? Celine's Jean-Gou, they find her vault here, and because her name is here in the file name, they automatically assign it. So you can always check it out. You can always make sure that it's you can always have a look at the document. You can also always preview it here to make sure it's there. You can add a watermark, prevent the download this way. And when you're happy with it, you just click on Start Distribution. So what just conscious of time. I know this is planned for 30 minutes, and I want to respect everybody's time. We have newsletter features that can be toggled on or off depending on our clients to help really create newsletters on the platform. Security is central to everything that we do, so we can also force two-factor authentication on the systems for each individual users. We do audits, security audits on an annual basis. Plus, our clients, believe me, and prospects do a lot of audits of our security. I'd be happy, really happy to discuss these features with you also in a more one-on-one conversation to one understand your family, your use case really well, and to maybe have a more tailored demonstration of the platform. So feel free to reach out either to myself. I can put my uh, can I put in the chats my email address? Otherwise, I'm sure you guys know how to reach us out. Otherwise, I'm putting oh wait, am I sending it out? I think you should be able to see the chat message that I'm sending out. If not, yeah, we'll send a follow-up email to everybody with this recording. And again, the more personalized we can make it for your family, the better and the more effective it will be. So please do reach out to me or to some people from our team, and we're more than happy to do a custom demo and to really understand your family, your use case, and to introduce you to older families that maybe have similar needs. So, yeah, I really hope it was interesting. I wish you all a great afternoon, a great day, and yeah, stay tuned. Let me know how it was. Thank you very much.